So I'm going to talk to you about what I have experienced as being the hardest thing in the Turkish Get-Up, the TGU, for most people to understand and get right. And that is the first and the last part of the Turkish Get-Up. So as you're laying down and you're coming onto your elbow, that's the first part. Then as you're coming back down from your elbow onto your shoulder blades, that's the last part. Now, it's mostly due to weakness. A lot of people always sit in front of the computer like this with their shoulders forward, and there's really no use of the scapula and other muscles at the back that are required for this first part of the movement. So that first part of the movement requires muscles that are normally not used and they're weak. And the same thing going down, controlling yourself going down requires activation of those muscles as well. So let's talk about those muscles and the areas that are used. So your scapula, first thing, scapular adduction is where the scapula moves towards your spine. So your spinal column in the middle. Your scapula, so right now as I adduct, you'll see my shoulder come back. I don't know if you can see this. Here we go. Scapula towards the spinal column. So that brings the shoulder back. It also creates a stable base for you to press into the ground with your elbow, because that's what's required. So the first part is a roll up onto your shoulder. So let's say I got my kettlebell here in my left arm, then I'll be rolling onto that right shoulder slightly, and that's done by thoracic rotation. That's your obliques and other muscles that are responsible for thoracic rotation. So muscles along each side of your spinal column, they rotate the spine, your vertebrae by vertebrae. So that happens at the first part of the TGU, and it's just slightly, okay? So you're rolling onto that right shoulder, getting that left shoulder off the ground. That also gives you momentum, and you need to keep working with that momentum. So don't break this down. Yes, you can break it down when you're just working on that part without weight and just feeling it. Another thing is you press that left leg into the ground as well as you're rotating here. So little movement to come onto the right shoulder and get your left shoulder off the ground. So now you're leaning onto your right side. And we got that scapular adduction as well. Next, you got shoulder horizontal abduction. So that's from here to here. Shoulder horizontal abduction and shoulder adduction. All these things happen at the same time. Adduction is where I go from here down. So using my lats and my pectoralis major and other muscles at the back here pulling down. But those are the two main muscles, your chest, your pectoralis major and your latissimus dorsi. So down and back. That happens when you pull that shoulder into the ground, push it into the ground. So one more time, thoracic rotation, that little roll to get your left shoulder off the ground. Kettlebell is here. You continue on by pressing that elbow into the ground, and then you come up on the elbow. So it's a lot of work done at the back here. And another thing is that people try to sit up. They actually try to sit up, so straight ahead. That's all hip flexor work, and of course your abdominals, they need to be tight because you're not curling up. So they try to sit up, and usually what you see happening then is that leg comes up, that right leg that's straight, that will come up when they try to sit up straight, especially when there's a lot of weight. You can do that sit up when you have a light weight, then it still works. But if you are working with heavier weights, 24, 28, 32, and so on, then you really need to do that roll up and press the elbow into the ground. So it's also great for really getting those shoulder blades moving. So that shoulder adduction is your rhomboids, minor, major, and it's also your trapezius, the middle part. So your trapezius goes from the top here all the way down to your shoulder blades and to the middle of your back, like a diamond shape, and then you got different parts that work. So if you're shrugging here, it's the top part of your trapezius that's working. Shoulder adduction is the middle part of your trapezius working there. So horizontal shoulder abduction is your rear deltoid. So these are all the muscles that come into play with the Turkish Get-Up, just that first part. And if you're missing out on that first part, you're missing out on a lot of back work, which is really the greatest part of the TGU for me, because it's an area that a lot of people don't work, and it's also muscles that aren't worked with a lot of other exercises. So that's why I also did something I called Dorsi Lift. It's a stupid name, I know, but it's where I took the first part of that TGU and just repeated it with a curl. So you're curling the weight, you're sitting down, curling it, pressing it, and then lowering yourself. So you're really working your lats and all the other muscles that I just said before. And you don't work those with a lot of other exercises, so that's why it's such a great thing. So I could go on about this, and as you can see, there's so much intricacy about doing kettlebell exercises right. And if you want to get into that, if you want to learn more about the swing, more about the snatch, so yeah, you're swinging, yeah, you're snatching, yeah, you're doing a TGU, but are you doing it right? Are you doing it efficient? Are you getting the best out of it? Are there things that you can change? What are the variations? Can you work towards different goals, etc., etc.? All these things you'll learn on cavemantraining.com. Okay, so just go to www.cavemantraining.com/shop. It's for everybody. Even if you're just an at-home user, you know, you can buy a book, less than €30, $30. You can join a course, you can join an at-home course, you know, where you work online and you are not even training other people, that's fine. We got those courses, then we also got courses for trainers, etc. There's so much to learn. Check it out. Check out the Kettlebell Exercise Encyclopedia. Also, all these books are available on Amazon as well with great ratings, and make sure you check out Kettlebell Workouts and Challenges 3.0. It's going to be awesome. It's the best book. I've taken on board a lot of feedback from a lot of people. Number one was great. It had a 4.1 star rating out of 5 on Amazon after many years. So I took that feedback on board because we want to get to that 5-star rating. Number 2 was even better rated, 4.5. Now let's hope that we can get somewhere in the 4.8 or even 5-star rating with number 3. There's so much included in this book. Thanks to you guys for providing feedback and buying the books, otherwise we wouldn't be here. So if this video helped you, make sure you check out the article as well, and make sure you share it with people. Send it by email, post it on Facebook, Reddit, etc. We always appreciate it if you tag us so we can thank you. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.